Hi. As scientists or engineers, we usually think that innovation results only from research. We believe that innovation is only a way to commercialize some discovery or some invention. As a result, we focus our work on discovering something, then we patent it, and we do our best to commercialize it. And usually the result is failure. And we don't understand why people or companies are not running to buy our brilliant invention. Our biggest mistake is to believe that innovation is the natural outcome of research, while innovation follows a totally different path. I will show you in these videos how we can define a logical path to innovation by asking the right question and starting on the right foot. In this first video, I explain what are the first steps of what I call the 8 steps to innovation. We can begin to see in this first video what are the first steps on the path to innovation. A general misunderstanding, especially among scientists and engineers, is we believe that people want innovation. We believe that they are looking for something new, for novelty. Actually, most of people don't want innovation. They like innovation, but they don't want to get it. They don't want to use it. Why? Because an innovation is always something disruptive. You will change something in your life, in your business, if you switch from what you know to something new, and you don't know what will be the new challenges. So people don't want innovation. They want only that someone can take care of the problem. They are looking for painkillers. Usually, when we stick with the current definition of innovation shared in the scientific domain, we say, okay, I must create something new, and then I will commercialize it, or I will ask someone to commercialize it for me, and this is what I call innovation. Actually, this path doesn't work. So if the first question is, should our first move, our first step, should it be to work on a solution? We will see the next that actually this is actually a very bad move. And it seems to be a little bit counterintuitive actually, but you'll see actually what should be a more logical path to explore if your initial idea is worth being pursuing or not. How do we define innovation if innovation is not the outcome of research, if innovation is not trying to commercialize something we created, something we discovered? We can say that innovation starts not with a solution, but with a problem, and will end with values. The concept of values can be a little bit fuzzy for scientists and engineers. It's very well known in marketing and business, of course. So we can say that values are not what you have created. Actually, values is not what you offer with your new product, your new system. Values are what people get when they use what you have created. So values is what people expect to decide them to change and use and buy a new thing. If we try to come with the short definition of innovation, since innovation is not the outcome of research, we can try to define it as innovation being a solution which was created to fix a real problem. So let's see now what we mean by problem. What is a problem? How can we find a problem? And more importantly, what is a real problem? Our first move when we will work on this path, the 8 steps to innovation, the first step actually will be to find a problem, because we know that innovation begins with a problem. How can you find if it's a real problem? That's the question. Because you can have an idea of a problem, you can feel that, oh, this is a problem and I should develop a solution for it, and maybe this is wrong. It's not a real problem. So let's see how we can find and identify a potential problem and see what it means to be a real problem. So if we try to figure out what a problem means, how we can describe a problem, we can say that a problem is a collection of causes that generate symptoms. It means we don't identify a problem per se, we identify a problem because we notice that there are some symptoms created by this problem. Is it a real problem? Actually, you don't decide if it's a real problem. The only way to know if it's a real problem is if some people are impacted by the symptoms of this problem. And if these people are eager to adopt a solution because they want this impact to disappear, then we can say that we have a real problem, because we have a problem that means something, a collection of causes that generate symptoms. And on the other side, we have a group of people who are impacted by these symptoms and are looking for a solution that could actually suppress these symptoms, hence the pain which is felt by the people impacted by these symptoms. So we know now that we have the first step number 1 in our path to innovation is actually the problem. And this is what we'll have to work on first. So step 2, we must identify the symptoms. They are the only way to detect a potential problem. And don't forget, it's not because you identify the symptoms of a problem that this is a real one. It will be a real one, in the logic of developing innovation, it will be a real one only if these symptoms impact some people. Step 3, we have identified some symptoms. The next question will be, how these symptoms impact people? What are the effects of these symptoms? Same way, if we have symptoms but they don't impact people, so it's not worth being looked at, because people will not be looking for a solution to a problem that has no impact on them, even if they are affected by the problem itself. And of course, to know if these symptoms can have a potential impact, another question we can ask is, are there any effect of these symptoms? Step 4, we saw that a problem exists if some causes create some symptoms and if these symptoms can impact people. Step 4 will be who is impacted. We must identify which population, which group of people are specifically impacted. And of course, when we start to look at, we could find several different types of people, of population, but we have to identify more specifically a group before we decide who we want to deal with, who we want to take care of. And that means that we will have to link the symptoms and the impact to people. First, it means that different symptoms can impact different people. With the same problem, you will have a range of symptoms. Some will impact a group of people, and the same will not impact another one. That's some example we'll see in the second video. So what is important is as we begin with a problem and we can define and describe what the problem is about, as we advance along the 8 steps to innovation, now not only we find who could be impacted, but we find which specific symptoms will impact which specific population. We have identified that a group of people are impacted by a collection of symptoms. Step 5, what pain do they feel? It's important to know when you are impacted, something will impact you, you know it, but actually you don't mind too much. It's something you can deal with and actually does not disturb your life, doesn't disturb whatever you are doing. So there's a problem, this problem has symptoms, these symptoms impact you, but actually you don't feel any pain about it. And that's something you can live with. Or another symptom can impact you in a more deeper way. And it's not about the symptoms, but it's also, and more importantly, be able to describe the pain that people will feel when they are impacted. And we'll see in the second video an example of how we can build the first steps of our project, of our innovation project. So see you on the next video.